We are in. That is it. Stop loss above this wick here. It almost feels unfair to trade like this, but this actually is allowed. Target is reached, take profit is hit. With this quick mini scalp trade on BitGet, we made $130 in 5 minutes. This is not a lot, but if you take a few of those trades every single day, this can quickly accumulate to a lot. Once you understand this setup, you will be completely addicted because the win rate is completely ridiculous. In this video, you will learn the best and most consistent scalping strategy in the whole entire world to make over $100 or more every single day. This strategy is so good that in the very beginning, you will win so many trades without much effort just because the win rate of this setup is so incredibly high. My goal is that after this video, you can start trading this strategy immediately and make your first profit today after this video. As an extra bonus, I will show you a sneaky technique at the end of the video on how to avoid almost every single loss. This setup is actually, from a technical perspective, very sophisticated, but I will break it down as easy and simple for you so you can use it right after this video. So get a drink. I got my black tea today for trading as always. Leave a like and let's get started. First, I have to explain you a very important concept, which is a liquidity sweep. Don't worry, I will make it very, very simple so you will definitely understand it. A liquidity sweep just simply means that a low or a high gets surpassed. So for example, here is a low. This candle here is surpassing this other low. So this candle here is sweeping the liquidity right here. This can be either a candle body or a candle wick. So for example, this here is a low, this here is a liquidity sweep. This here is a high, and this here is a liquidity sweep. Why? Because this candle is surpassing this previous high right here. This here is a high, this here is surpassing the previous high. So this here is the liquidity sweep. Also, this here sweeps this high, but here, for example, this here is not a sweep. Why? Because this old high was not surpassed. Very simple. Once you understand this setup, you will be completely addicted because the win rate is completely ridiculous. Now, there are only 3 steps which you have to follow every single time. So the first step for this setup is you need a liquidity sweep. So we can see right here, we have a low right here on this wick. This candle right here is surpassing the old low. So this here is the liquidity sweep. Check. Number 2, we need 2 counter candles, which is here 1, 2. Once the second counter candle is closing, you will draw an order block. Just simply go here to the brush tool and then go down and use the rectangle drawing tool. And you will draw it from the lowest candle body wick to the highest candle body wick. So essentially, check which candle is reaching the deepest. In this case, the gray candle is reaching the lowest, so you will take the gray candle for the order block. If, for example, the yellow candle had a deeper wick, then you would use the yellow candle. If the lows of both candles are the exact same, you always use the first candle. So the second counter candle is closing, then you will draw your zone. Then you wait until you are out of the zone. In this case, it's already here after the second candle closed. Then you wait until you come from the other side onto the top of the box, and you want to see a strong reaction off of this box. The wicks can go into the box and a candle body can close at the box or even on the top of the box. If a candle is deeply cutting, aka if the body of a candle is deeply closing into the zone, then the zone will be invalidated and you will check for the next setup. So in this scenario, what do we have? We have here a hangman candle, first alert. We have a bearish candle here. And then here we have a bullish reaction and a bullish candle with a higher wick than before. So this here would be your entry for the setup. And then stop loss would go below the deepest reaching wick of that zone. And then you will target a 1 to 2 risk reward, which means in every single trade, you make twice the amount which you risk. So for example, if you risk here $50, you would make $100. Let me show you the next example. So right here, we have the short example, which is the exact opposite. So number 1, we have here a high, and here we have a liquidity sweep. Why? Because this high is surpassing the previous high. Liquidity sweep, number 1, check. Number 2, we wait for 2 counter candles. We have here 1 gray candle, second gray candle. As soon as this second gray candle is closing, then you will draw a box around the candle, whichever reaches the highest. In this case, the yellow candle has the highest wick. That's why you choose the yellow candle. Then we come out of the box and you just simply wait patiently until you come from the other side into the box and you want to see a wick reaction here, or like I said, a minor close at the box but not too much inside. So here, for example, we have an inverted hammer candle, which is a very bearish candle, which shows that the sellers are immediately pushing back as soon as buyers try to push the price up. And then what do we see here? We have a beautiful bearish engulfing. This is a very bearish pattern. And then your entry would be immediately after the bearish rejection right here. Stop loss again, a little bit above the highest wick here. And you will target a conservative 1 to 2 risk reward. Again, we make 2 times the amount which you risk on this trade. And also this would be a straight win. Now check this out. I will show you an example now where you have a failed setup. So for example here, again, very simple. Here on the left side, we have a low. Then here, this candle is sweeping the liquidity of the last low. Number 1, check. Number 2, we need 2 counter candles. Again, we have here 1 counter candle, second counter candle. After the second counter candle is closing, you will check which of the candles reached the deepest. In this case, it is the gray candle. That's why you choose the gray candle as your measurement for your order block box. Again, you go here to the brush tool and you select the rectangle and you do it like this. Then you simply wait until the price comes back again from the other side and you want to see a touch. If you don't get a touch, you don't take a trade. You need at least a wick touch. If you cut deep in the zone, it's immediately disqualified and invalidated. So again, right here, no trade because no touch. No trade because no touch. Here, first candle immediately disrespects the zone, which means wait for the next setup. Next example. Here we have a low. This candle is sweeping this low, which means sweep. Number 1, check. Then again, we wait for 2 counter candles. We have here 1 counter candle, second counter candle. After this second counter candle is closing, you will choose the candle which reaches the lowest, which in this case we can see is the gray candle with the lowest wick. So then you will draw a zone around this candle here from the top wick to the bottom wick, which is from here to here. Then you wait until you are out the zone like this, and then you just want to wait patiently until you get a touch or a disrespect. So for example here, if you look closely, you don't get a proper touch. There is a little bit of a gap here between. So if you trade strictly based on the rules, this would be a skip. No touch, no trade. No touch, no trade. No touch, no trade. First candle, deep cut, instantly disqualified and invalidated, which means you don't take a trade right here. Next example. Here we have a low, and here we have the liquidity sweep. So number 1, check. Number 2, we wait for 2 counter candles. We have 1, we have 2. As soon as this second counter candle is closing, then again, you check which is the lower candle. In this case, it is the yellow candle. So you draw the order block box from the lowest wick until the highest wick, and you wait until you get a reaction from the other side. Immediately after this candle is closing, you come right back into the zone. But as we can see, we have a deep cut right away. Again, you want only a wick touch or a minor close on top of the box or a little bit inside. As soon as you have a significant cut into it, instant invalidation. As an interactive exercise, I will give you now 3 seconds time here to look at the chart and to eye out for yourself where the setup occurred. Alright, now let's start here. First of all, here we have a high. Here we have the liquidity sweep. We wait for 2 counter candles. Again here, 1 gray candle, second gray candle. Which means after the second gray candle closed, rectangle, and you will go from here to here, and you will draw the zone. Next, you wait until you are out of the zone, which is right here. Then you want to wait patiently until you come from the other side and test again the outer part of the zone. We have the first touch, which means what? Which means we are on very high alert like this. And then we have the first bearish reaction. We have a bearish candle. And once this bearish candle is closing, you will enter your trade. Your entry will be right away after this gray candle. Enter, stop loss above the highest wick. And then again, you target a 1 to 2 risk reward. And this also is a straight W. Actually, there's one setup right here also on the left. We have here also a low. We have here a liquidity sweep. And then again, we have here 1 counter candle, second counter candle. And then again, we have here a beautiful box, which I will draw for you right now. Look at this. No touch, no trade. No touch, no trade. First touch, high alert. And what do we see? We see a bullish candle. Now we enter our trade again like this. Enter right away. Stop loss below the lowest wick and a 1 to 2 risk reward and also straight W. Back to back, 2 wins in a row. This will happen so many times because, like I said, the win rate of this setup is completely ridiculous. If you recognized this setup very quickly, this means you have very sharp eyes. And I want you to see those setups essentially in 1 millisecond by looking at any random chart. And by practicing this and looking at hundreds and thousands of setups, your eye will be schooled and you will get better and better and faster. And like I said, it is always a very easy 3-step process where you only focus on one step at a time. Last exercise. Again, here is one, actually 2 setups. Now let me see if you can find it. I will give you again 3 seconds to check out the setup here. Alright, now let's get it here. So here we have again a low, here we have a liquidity sweep. Why? Because this low is surpassing this low here. So again, step number 1, liquidity sweep is done. Again, we have here one counter candle, second counter candle. This candle is closing. Again, we check what candle reached the deepest. In this case, it is the gray candle, which means we take here the rectangle box and we draw a beautiful red box or any color you want around this, and we extend it and we wait until we come out of the box. After we are out of the box, then you wait if we get a touch from the other side. No touch, no trade. No touch, no trade. No touch, no trade. First touch, high alert. Here we have the highest win rate chart pattern in the whole world, which actually is advancing wicks. Advancing wicks just means we have one wick and another wick, which is slightly higher right next to each other. And also I made a VIP chart pattern sheet for all of you. It's free. You can also get it in the PDF in Discord. This is also where you have the best patterns in the whole world for crypto trading and also the ones to avoid, which are not really relevant for crypto. This actually is a pattern which you don't find anywhere in the whole internet. I invented this myself by looking at tens of thousands of candles and over the years of experience. This pattern is so good and so consistent that technically you could almost trade it completely alone without any other confluence. However, if you're a beginner, I would never trade candlestick patterns alone. Only if you're experienced and with context. But for example here, this is a very strong rejection pattern, which I just explained. Your entry would be right after the advancing wick pattern, which is right here. Stop loss below the lowest wick, and you target a 1 to 2 risk reward. Now in this case, you can see 1 to 2 is very tight. So if you can see that your stop loss is very tight, you can be a bit more greedy and get it 1 to 2.5 or 1 to 3 if you can see that the chart movement here would casually allow this kind of movement. If you have a very sharp eye, you would probably tell me and ask me, hey Claudius, is this not a high? And is this here not a liquidity sweep? Yes, it is. And we have also 1, 2 counter candles, which means technically we would have to draw an order block right here on this gray candle, because this is the candle which reaches the highest with the highest wick. And we also have here a wick touch and a bearish candle, which means, strictly speaking, with this setup, you would enter a short trade right here. You would enter right here, stop loss above here, and you target a 1 to 2 risk reward. Now, this setup, for example, would be a loss, and losses are completely normal. No matter how good or how consistent the win rate of a setup is, you will always have losses. However, if you trade the sneaky secret technique, which many VIP traders are trading, you would actually, as soon as the candle goes into your profit zone by a little bit, you would take your stop loss and raise it into a slight profit right here. Which means as soon as the price continues, aka reverses to the other side, you would get stopped out on break even right here on this yellow candle. Now this technique is perfect if you're very risk adverse. Then I recommend this. Downside, of course, is that you will miss out on quite a few wins, because many times the price first comes back to your break even price and then goes to the profit zone. In those scenarios, you would get stopped out prematurely at break even, although they will be a win. But again, on the other side, you will cut out almost every single loss. Now I will show you a trade example directly on BitGet. Number 1, we have a high right here. Number 2, we have a liquidity sweep right here. We have 2 counter candles, number 1, number 2. This second counter candle is confirming that this yellow candle is our order block. Why? Because this yellow candle is reaching the highest. Now, we just got the first touch right here. If this next candle is closing deep inside with the body in the zone, this will immediately invalidate the whole zone, and we have to wait for a new liquidity sweep. However, if we get a minor close only in the zone in the lower area, this is perfect. After this, we just need a bearish candle and then we are short. So again, we have 30 seconds left here for this candle to develop. 2, 1, and perfect. We got a close on the very outside, which is perfect. If we get a bearish candle right here and right now, we are going short. Let's go over to BitGet, because the closure of the next candle is deciding our trade or our skip. We are on BitGet. We got 20 seconds left. Again, this here is the order block from here all the way to here. And we want to see either now a bearish candle or another wick rejection. So far, it looks very good. We got 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1. And we are in. That is it. Stop loss above this wick here. And we are going for a 1 to 2 risk reward ratio. Again, very simply, we go right here, short position. This here is our entry. This here is our stop loss. target is a 1 to 2. Actually, in fact, we go for a bit higher target because our stop loss percent-wise is so small. So here we can take a lot more profit on this trade. For you in the beginning, I recommend a 1 to 2 risk-reward ratio every single time. But for this trade, we can easily go here for a 1 to 3 and be happy. So again, this here is our take profit target. All right, and we are going break even. So right now, worst case, we get stopped out prematurely in a break even. Best case scenario, we hit our target and we have a profit. This here is the sneaky trading technique, which you can use if you are very risk adverse. It almost feels unfair to trade like this, but this actually is allowed. And target is reached, take profit is hit. With this quick mini scalp trade on BitGet, we made $130 in 5 minutes. This is not a lot, but if you take a few of those trades every single day, this can quickly accumulate to a lot. Quick trade recap. Here was our high. We had our liquidity sweep right here. We had 2 counter candles, number 1 and number 2. This second candle confirmed that this highest candle is our order block. So we made an order block around this yellow candle from the highest wick to the lowest wick right here. We waited until we got a touch on the lower side of the area. All we need is a touch or a minor close into the zone and a bearish candle. We got the touch with this yellow candle, check, and here we got a bearish candle here. This here is not the strongest bearish candle, but this does not matter. The win rate of this setup is completely insane, and all it takes is some bearish price action. So this here is already enough. Entry was here, stop loss above the highest wick, and we went for a 1 to 3 risk reward, which was right down here. And the trade only took 5 minutes to hit our take profit, because here was our entry. We got 1 minute, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the 5th minute, our TP was hit. If you want to master this trade setup as fast as possible, you can join the Discord community and post every single trade screenshot in the Setup Ideas channel, and you get feedback from me directly on your setups, so you can improve and learn way quicker, and also feedback from all the other traders. The Discord is free. You can join in the description right here. Also beware of fake impersonator Discord accounts to DM you asking for money. I don't have any trading service, okay? And the Discord is completely free, so please do not send anyone money, and always double check that actually I'm the real person. How can you check this? Just simply check on my role, because as you can see, I'm the only one with the neon yellow mentor role. And my username is exactly this, no dot, no comma. So please double and triple check this first. Once you join, go to qualify yourself, select if you're a beginner or a pro trader, then go to get verified, and then simply input your BitGet user ID in this button, click submit, and then you will be accepted most likely in 24 hours, and then you'll be able to see all those channels and get access to all the resources. I hope you learned a lot in this video. If you have any questions, please comment them down below. I will answer every single comment and help you out with all my heart. I would appreciate if you give this video also a like, hit subscribe, hit the ring bell, watch this video right here if you want to avoid even more losses and have an unfair edge in perception that other traders can dream of. Thanks for your insane support. I will see you in the next video right here, hopefully. Peace.